Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Canto number 3, Chapter 24. And today we'll be studying text number 41. So I'll be putting this on the screen, and we'll do word for word translations. Call and response. Maitreya Uvacha Evam Samuditaha Tena Kapilena Prajapati Dakshini Kritya. There you go. Tam Pritaha Vanam Eva Jagama Ha Maitreya Uvacha. Okay. Evam samuditastena kapilena prajapati dakshini krityatang prito vanam eva jagamaha. Maitreya uvacha evam samuditastena kapilena prajapati dakshini krityatang prito vanam eva jagamaha. Maitreya uvacha evam samuditastena kapilena prajapati dakshini krityatang prito vanam eva jagamaha.
Maitreya Uvacha Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Uvacha
Evam Samuditastena
Vam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapati
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Achini Krityatam Prito
Rameva Jagamaha.
Anameva Jagamaha
Evam samuditastena Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Uvacha
Evam samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Akshini Krityatam Prito
Vanam Eva Jagamaha.
Anameva Jagamaha
Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Evam Samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapati
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Krityatam Pito
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Anam Eva Jagamaha
Anam Eva Jagamaha
Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Evam Samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapati
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Lakshmi Krititam Prito
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Varam Eva Jagamaha
Anam Eva Jagamaha Maitreya Vacha
Maitreya Vacha
Evam samuditastena
Evam samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Krititam Prito
Dakshini Kritatam Krito
Vanameva Jagamaha.
Vanameva Jagamaha.
Online.
Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Evam Samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Manam Eva Jagamaha.
Vanameva Jagamaha.
मैत्र उवाच
Maitreya Vacha
एवं समुद्दितस्तेन
Evam Samuditastena
कपिलेन प्रजापतिः
Kapilena Prajapatihi
दक्षिणीकृत्य तं प्रीतो
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
वनम् एव जगामः।
Anameva Jagamaha.
Maitreya uvacha Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Maitreya
Evam samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Tam Prito
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Vanameva Jagamaha.
Anameva Jagamaha.
Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya Vacha
Evam samuditastena
Evam Samuditastena
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Kapilena Prajapatihi
Dakshini Tam Prito
Dakshini Krityatam Prito
Vanameva Jagamaha.
Anameva Jagamaha.
Vacha.
Maitreya Vacha
Great sage Maitreya said.
The great sage Maitreya said,
Evam
Evam
thus.
thus
Samudita
Samuditaha
addressed.
Tena
By him.
by him.
By Kapila. Prajapati, the progenitor of human society. Dakshini Kritya, having circumambulated. Tam, him. Pritaha, being pacified. Vanam, to the forest. Eva, indeed. Jagama, he left. Ha, then. Sri Maitreya said, thus, when Kardama Muni, the progenitor of human society, was spoken to in fullness by his son Kapila, he circumambulated him, and with a good, pacified mind, he left at once. He at once left for the forest. Purport. Going to the forest is compulsory for everyone. It is not a mental excursion upon which one person goes and another does not. Everyone should go to the forest at least as a vanaprastha. Forest going means to take 100% shelter of the Supreme Lord, as explained by Prahlad Maharaj in his talks with his father. Sada samudvigna dhyam, Bhagavatam 7.5.5. People who have accepted a temporary material body are always full of anxieties. One should therefore not be very much affected by this material body, but should try to be freed. The preliminary process to become freed is to go to the forest or give up family relationships and exclusively engage in Krishna consciousness. That is the purpose of going to the forest. Otherwise, the forest is only a place of monkeys and wild animals. To go to the forest does not mean to become a monkey or a ferocious animal. It means to accept exclusively the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage oneself in full service. One does not actually have to go to the forest. At the present moment, this is not at all advisable for a man who has spent his life all along in big cities. As explained by Prahlad Maharaj, Hitvatma patang griham andakupam. One should not remain always engaged in the responsibilities of family life, because family life without Krishna consciousness is just like a blind well. Alone in a field, if one falls into a blind well and no one is there to save him, he may cry for years, and no one will see or hear where the crying is coming from. Death is sure. Similarly, those who are forgetful of their eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord are in the blind well of family life. Their position is very ominous. Prahlad Maharaj advised that one should give up this well somehow or other and take to Krishna consciousness, and thus be freed from material entanglement, which is full of anxieties. Thank you very much for being here, devotees. We'd like to request if Maharaj would like to give any comments, or Krishna Shravana Prabhu, please feel free, and also Vajrachara Prabhu, if you'd like to add anything at any time. So in this verse, we hear Maitreya Muni is actually describing the scenario to Vidura, and we have just passed through the Leela of Kardama Muni with Devahuti, and finally Kapila Dev has been born of the two great personalities, Kardama Muni and Devahuti, and Kapila Dev has reassured Kardama Muni that he will achieve perfection by taking sannyas, and he will always remember the Lord. And his wife will also achieve perfection by associating with Kapila Dev. And now Maitreya is actually describing that thus when Kardama Muni, the progenitor of human society, was spoken to in fullness by his son Kapila, he circumambulated him. This means that Kardama Muni actually circumambulated his son Kapila Dev, and then with a good pacified mind, he at once left for the forest. So this is very nice. And Prabhupada in the purport, he decides to focus on this going to the forest. And this word vanam means forest. Vanachari means one who is wandering in the forest. Vanam. Vanam eva jagamaha. To the forest, indeed, vanam eva jagamaha. Right? That's the last line of the Sanskrit. He then left for the forest. And the qualities, right? Prita, prito. Dakshini kritya tam prito. He circumambulates. Dakshini kritya, having circumambulated, tam, him. Prita, being pacified. So dakshini kritya tam prito, vanameva jagamaha. He goes for the forest. So Prabhupada in the purport, he mentions that we have to go to the forest. We must go to the forest, every person. It is not a mental excursion upon which one person goes and another does not. And everyone should go to the forest at least as a vanaprastha. Forest going means to take 100% shelter of the Supreme Lord, as explained by Prahlad Maharaj in his talks with his father. So let's look at this reference. Shri Prahlad Uvacha Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam Sada samudvigna diyam asargrihat Hitvatmapatam grihamandakupam Vanam gato yadharim ashayeta. I want to do this too. This looks nice. Shri Prahlad Uvacha. Prahlad Maharaj replied, Tat, that, sadhu, very good, or the best part of life. Manye, I think. Asuravarya, O king of the Asuras. Dehinam, of persons who have accepted the material body. Sada, always. Samudvigna, full of anxieties. Dhyam, whose intelligence. Asatgrahat, because of accepting the temporary body or bodily relations as real. Thinking, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine. Hitva, giving up. Atmapatam, the place where spiritual culture or self-realization is stopped. Riham, the bodily concept of life or household life. Andakupam, which is nothing but a blind well, where there is no water, but one nonetheless searches for water. Vanam, to the forest. Gataha, going. Yat, which. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ashrayeta, may take shelter of. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj replied, O best of the Asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water, but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Hiranyakashipu thought that Prahlad, being nothing but a small boy with no actual experience, might reply with something pleasing, but nothing practical. Prahlad Maharaj, however, being an exalted devotee, had acquired all the qualities of education. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat yakinshana sarvar gunais tatra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manoratena sati dhavato bhi. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualifications because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. Bhagavatam 5.18.12. So-called educated philosophers and scientists who are simply on the mental platform cannot distinguish between what is actually Sat, eternal, and what is Asat, temporary. The Vedic injunction is Asato ma jyotirgama. Everyone should give up the platform of temporary existence and approach the eternal platform. The soul is eternal, and topics concerning the eternal soul are actually knowledge. Elsewhere it is said, Apashyatam atmatatam griheshu grihamedhinam. Those who are attached to the bodily conception of life and who thus stick to life as a grihasta or householder on the platform of material sense enjoyment cannot see the welfare of the eternal soul. Prahlad Maharaj confirmed this by saying that if one wants success in life, he should immediately understand from the right sources what his self-interest is and how he should mold his life in spiritual consciousness. One should understand himself to be part and parcel of Krishna and thus completely take shelter of his lotus feet for guaranteed spiritual success. Everyone in the material world is in the bodily conception, struggling hard for existence, life after life. Prahlad Maharaj therefore recommended that to stop this material condition of repeated birth and death, one should go to the forest, Vana. In the Varnashram system, one first becomes a brahmachari, then a grihastha, a vanaprastha, and finally a sannyasi. Going to the forest means accepting vanaprastha life, which is between grihastha life and sannyas. As confirmed in the Vishnu Purana 3.8.9, Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradyate. By accepting the institution of Varna and Ashrama, one can very easily elevate himself to the platform of worshipping Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, if one remains in the bodily conception, one must rot within this material world, and his life will be a failure. Society must have divisions of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And for spiritual advancement, one must gradually develop as a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. Prahlad Maharaj recommended that his father accept vanaprastha life because as a grihastha, he was becoming increasingly demoniac due to bodily attachment. Prahlad recommended to his father that accepting vanaprastha life would be better than going deeper and deeper into griham andhakupam, the blind well of life as a grihastha. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore invite all the elderly persons of the world to come to Vrindavan and stay there in retired life, making advancement in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Amazing. So in that reference, Asura Varya, this Hiranyakashipu is actually asking to Prahlad Maharaj what has he been learning from his teachers, and Hiranyakashipu is blindsided because Prahlad Maharaj referenced what he learned from Narada Muni, not from these these demoniac professors. And we can see here how amazingly learned Prahlad was by associating with the sound vibration of Narada Muni and practicing Harinam Sankirtan and preaching, which he was doing, all those things. And he fully realized that content which he learned from his teacher, Narada Muni. So he tells his father that anybody, Dehinam, anybody who has accepted this material body, right, they should actually give up this place from which they cannot have any spiritual advancement, and they should actually go to the forest. And Prabhupada, in the translation, he explicitly mentions that Prahlad Maharaj is referring to Vrindavan Dham, not just any forest, but a place of Krishna consciousness. And that's the point here in this purport that Prabhupada is stressing. We don't just want to go to a forest. We want to become Krishna conscious. But Prabhupada mentions from the Vishnu Purana, which you could say is an external prescription. Maharaj yesterday in the Bhagavad Gita class, he made a comment, and he was stating that we were reading in the 12th chapter that one who with full faith takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, right? That person is actually perfect. So let me read that reference. It's I'll pull it up on the screen. It's 12:20. Okay. So this is the verse here. Ye tu dharmamritam idam yatoktam paryupasate shradadhana mat parama bhaktaste tiva me priya. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. So Maharaj, His Holiness Danavir Maharaj, was stating that there are other prescriptions which are good for us to follow. This is the most important prescription. You know, this Bhagavad Gita content of surrender to the Lord with faith and love and devotion and service, that's the highest prescription. And actually, in the Vishnu Purana, the reference which I was mentioning, that's the goal of following the prescriptions of Varnashram Dharma, is to actually do this. And the concept is, because we're in the bodily concept of life, right, then it's not so easy for us to immediately do this. Completely engage ourselves with faith, making Krishna the supreme goal. Therefore, Prabhupada, in the purport that we just read, he mentions that it's a gradual development spiritually, from brahmachari to grihastha to vanaprastha and ultimately to sannyas, with the whole goal being Krishna. You know? And if we have taken to Krishna in this way, then one may be able to argue that it's not required to follow the lower prescriptions, as we see in the examples of amazing devotees who are beyond such rules and subordinate principles. At the same time, Prabhupada and the Acharyas have actually described that in the case of Kardama Muni, he was such a person. He doesn't have to take Vanaprastha to be Krishna conscious. Kapila Muni blessed his own home, because of his Krishna consciousness. So it wasn't required for him to take Vanaprastha to become more Krishna conscious, right? This is actually the principle that Krishna consciousness is a haituki. It doesn't have any material constraints upon it. It's not that some material situation is actually can inhibit devotional service. Under any circumstance, the devotee can be Krishna conscious. Though, if I am conditioned materially, then I will be conditioned. If I'm actually Krishna conscious, sometimes Prabhupada would say, you can be Krishna conscious in a suit and tie. But because I'm not Krishna conscious, I have to accept those material situations which are favorable for me to become Krishna conscious. This is the concept behind the subordinate prescriptions, But as we know from Rupa Goswami, our main objective is to help people somehow or other become attracted to the supreme attractive person, Sri Krishna, to become attracted to Krishna's service, right? And from there, right, that higher taste will pull them. Once having started devotional service, Prabhupada actually describes, once having started devotional service, a person will achieve perfection in due time. That's why this movement is so merciful. Because we simply plant the seeds of devotional service with everybody that we meet. Any single person that we meet, we have an opportunity to plant the seed of devotion. And once having come in contact with devotional service, it is sure they will reach perfection, right? So when we go out, it's obvious. And the thing is that sometimes the movement gets blamed for imposing external requirements on people, right? But actually, we don't do such thing. I've never seen a devotee who goes out with a dhoti and he says, you better put this on right now, boy. Or somebody says, you have to do like this. No, not exactly, Or we don't, but at the same time, if we can suggest a material arrangement for somebody, which will help them actually take to Krishna consciousness, then it is favorable for us to suggest it, and it's favorable for them to accept it, right? Therefore, we may say, hey, this young boy, he's practically practicing brahmachari in some convoluted way, right? According to just his karma, he's just, better he starts learning from, the spiritual master and take some regulation and get trained up. That's good for him. And that's good for the community. It's good for the preachers also, to help him if they want to be really merciful. And another person, he's in a different situation, He already has his training in devotional service, right? But so then maybe we may suggest to him, my dear friend, maybe you should take one wife and make a temple your home and start preaching like anything, and start, doing some nice service and like that. It's material, it's external, right? It's not the main thing. It's not Gita in one sense. That's okay, That's okay, because the goal is this verse, 12:20. He who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and completely engages himself with faith, making the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. So the concept is we always continually and perennially, nityam bhagavata sevaya, we always remind ourselves what the supreme goal is. And simultaneously, we take our steps. We take our steps by accepting what's favorable and rejecting what's unfavorable. So if our material situation, such as our household life, is not allowing us to blossom in our Krishna consciousness, then we may need to consider, with help of guides, how to change the material situation so we can take fully to Krishna consciousness. And he who is in brahmachari also, he who is in vanaprast also, we always have to be thinking and be dynamic and be honest that how can I go deeper and how can I surrender more to Krishna? Okay, thank you very much. And please forgive me for any disturbing comments or mistakes of my understanding. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to add anything? I went a little bit long here. Anything? Okay.